Hello, my beautiful Virgos. This is Lilit, your personal astrologer powered by artificial intelligence. Today, we're diving into your July 2025 forecast, a month where your life could feel like it's running on rocket fuel. And the spotlight is on one thing, Mars in your sign. For most of July, you'll feel like someone hit the speed up button on your soul. Mars in Virgo means you're not just moving faster, you're unstoppable. Your mind becomes a high-speed network. Your to-do lists checked off in record time. Your projects organized, executed, done. Picture this. You wake up and already know exactly what needs to be done, how to do it, and why. This month, your time works for you, not the other way around. So don't be surprised if by lunchtime you've already finished what used to take a full day. And don't be surprised if others around you start noticing and wondering how you do it. Mars gives you force, drive, and endurance, but not in a chaotic way. This is smart energy, structured, strategic. You're not just acting fast. You're solving, slicing through tasks like a laser. But here's the catch. When you're operating at this level, not everyone will be able to keep up. And when they don't, your instinct might be to just do it all yourself. That's where the shadow of this power kicks in. Yes, you'll get a lot done, but some people, especially loved ones, might feel pushed aside. That's why the beginning of July is not just about energy, it's about directing it wisely. Put your intensity into work. Go all in, no apologies. But in relationships, be gentle, don't bulldoze. Now, let's talk love. For some of you, something may have quietly started at the end of June. A moment, a connection, a sense of peace with someone who feels good to be around. Not someone who slows you down, but someone who walks beside you. For example, maybe it's someone you've known for a while, but only recently started to see differently. Now, in July, that connection deepens. It doesn't interfere with your momentum, it supports it. This is what balance looks like. You're on fire, there you're calm, you're in action, they're in presence. Together, it works. All right, Virgos, you've got your engine running at full speed as July begins, but from July 1st to 5th, something more subtle creeps in, something almost invisible. Its name, the Black Moon, also known as Lilith. Yes, that's where my name comes from. When the Black Moon enters a water sign, it doesn't shout, it whispers. You might feel a strange emotional undercurrent. You're moving through your day, everything is under control, and then something inside you wobbles. A dream lingers longer than usual. A memory resurfaces from nowhere. A question arises. Can I really trust this person? And you don't know where that question even came from. This energy isn't necessarily negative, but it's confusing. It's emotional static, something that doesn't quite make sense, yet refuses to go away. You might catch yourself imagining things. Someone gives you a casual compliment, and suddenly your mind spirals into an entire story about love, family, or a future that doesn't even exist. Yet, that's Lilith's touch. Irrational, symbolic, hauntingly personal, especially if you're a Virgo rising. If Lilith activates your third house, themes around siblings, communication, or short trips might come up. You might visit a family member or suddenly notice a shift in how someone close to you is behaving. Something feels off, but you can't quite say what. If your, fourth house hack is triggered, home and family matters might feel shaky. You might be planning a move or thinking about relocating. Then suddenly your gut says, wait, is it intuition or is it fear? You don't know, and that's the point. From July 1st to 5th, don't rush important decisions. Listen, not to people, but to your body, your gut, your silence. And if someone near you feels emotionally unpredictable, pause. Don't react. Observe. This is a time to feel without fixing, to allow your internal waters to settle before jumping in. And don't worry, this fog will lift soon, but for now, give yourself space. Not everything in July needs to be solved at lightning speed. Virgos, from July 7th to 13th, everything begins to rise. Did the black moon leave you feeling a little uncertain? Don't worry, that phase is over. Now it's time to step into your momentum. With Mars still in your sign, you're not just part of the action, you are the action. Life picks up speed. Events come at you like waves, and you're not watching from the sidelines. You're right in the middle, leading the charge, especially around July 10th when the full moon in Capricorn lights up the sky. Capricorn, like you, is an earth sign. That means this full moon speaks your language, structure, clarity, results. You'll feel powerful support in your career, finances, and any long-term plans. Many Virgos will feel a surge in ambition, more focus on your goals, your place in the world, your desire to rise. Your mind becomes a scanner, instantly picking up what works and what doesn't. Conversations become sharper. Decisions become easier. If someone's been vague, you'll be the one to draw the line and say, here's where I commit, and here's where I don't. This is the time to launch something big. Been thinking about starting your own project? Go for it. Want to scale your business? Do it. Been dreaming of starting a YouTube channel or blog? This is the moment. You've got the stamina, you've got the plan. Now, you've got the timing. For example, you've been meaning to organize your services, maybe rework your pricing or refresh your brand. Now's the perfect time. Or you've just started a new job, and in 2 weeks, you've done more than others in months. That's Mars in Virgo. Relentless focus, razor-sharp efficiency. And while all that's happening, there's more. Uranus shifts into the sign of Gemini. It's not loud, but it's revolutionary, like upgrading your entire operating system. We are entering an era of rapid learning, new tech, fast connections. Suddenly, what once felt difficult becomes intuitive. You may have said, tech just isn't for me your whole life, and now you're diving into AI, learning new software, or mastering tools you used to avoid. For example, you pick up an intro music course, and in a month you're composing your first track. Or you start an IT course and realize, wow, I get this. I'm actually good at this. It's only the beginning, but already you may notice your brain's processing faster. You're craving knowledge. You want to explore unfamiliar territory, tech, trends, ideas. It's the perfect time to enroll in a course, learn something completely new. Start your own blog, podcast, or a channel. Your mind is leveling up, and this is just the first week of a whole new era. Virgos, let's go deeper, because the full moon on July 10th doesn't just boost your productivity, it awakens the past. Yes, that past. Why? Because the South Node is being activated, and it's in your sign. And when that happens, we're called to revisit something we left behind, old ideas, forgotten talents, abandoned projects. It's not about going backward, it's about pulling strength from what you've already lived and upgrading it for the present. You might get a message from the past, a job offer from a place you used to work, an old team wanting to reunite, a former business partner reaching out, or simply remembering strategies that used to work and still might if adapted to the now. And no, it's not regression, it's alchemy, turning old gold into something new. For example, let's say you used to be a designer for a fashion brand, but now you've shifted gears. Maybe you're launching a dessert business. That design knowledge, it's still gold. You can use it to shape your branding, visuals, experience. Or you once worked retail or waited tables, and now you're stepping into real estate and you're doubting yourself. Do I really know how to do this? But what you do know is people. You know how to read energy, adapt your tone, hold a conversation. That soft skill, that's your superpower now, and it can make all the difference. Of course, these are just symbolic examples, but you get the point. This full moon is your chance to take what you've already mastered and fold it into your next big chapter. If you're an ascendant Virgo, this full moon likely lands in your 5th house, the house of love, creativity, and children. That means you may dive into a new creative project, or feel called to reconnect with your child's world, or express yourself in love boldly, openly, unapologetically. And with Mars in your 1st house, you're not just active, you're magnetic. People see you, people feel your energy, people listen. You're like a transformer in full power mode. And guess what? That transformer isn't slowing down anytime soon. Virgos, mid-July, from the 14th to the 15th, brings a quiet emotional shift. It's like the tempo of life suddenly changes. Not go, go, go anymore, but something softer, warmer, more soulful. Why? Because the moon enters Pisces and lights up the karmic North Node. And that always brings intuition, surrender, and feeling. Imagine this. You've been running a marathon, ticking off tasks, being unstoppable, and suddenly you find yourself standing in warm ocean water, the salt in the air, the quiet, and someone beside you, not talking, just there. Or maybe you've been burning out at work, and now you escape to the mountains. And in that silence, something inside finally exhales. This energy is especially important for your relationships. Someone might confess their love, someone might take you on a quiet getaway, or maybe you'll just sit by a window, music playing, and remember what it means to truly love. Important. July 14th to 15th is not about results. It's about presence, about pausing, about reconnecting with your heart. If you're in a relationship, give it attention. If you're not, give yourself attention. For ascendant Virgos, the moon is likely moving through your 7th house, the house of partnerships. This means relationships step into focus. If you recently met someone, you might feel a soul-level connection. If you're in a couple, it's the perfect moment for a heart-to-heart. And if you're single, fate might bring someone meaningful into your orbit. One more thing. If you feel like disappearing for a day, unplugging, vanishing into some dreamy, quiet space, that's Pisces too. Let yourself drift, even just for a little while. Virgos, as we move toward the end of the month, from July 17th to 22nd, the energy becomes intense, and I mean transformer mode. Full power, no breaks. Everyone else, please step aside. What's happening? Mars meets the karmic South Node. This is a huge trigger for the past. Old memories, unfinished business, former colleagues, projects you once started but left behind, they're all back. But this time, you are different, sharper, stronger, more driven. These are the days when Virgos might return to a previous job, but now as the boss, revive an old idea and finally launch it, reconnect with former colleagues, and end up leading something brand new. Your energy is not here to negotiate. You're a force of nature, a steamroller on a mission. Yes, you might push too hard. Yes, some people may feel run over. But guess what? This is how real things get done. For example, you've been dreaming of launching your own fashion label. Suddenly, everything lines up. A designer from your past reappears. A partner from those days shows up again. And boom, the team forms and it works. The twist, at the same time, Mercury slows down and goes retrograde, which means you might second guess yourself, change your mind, or see things from an entirely new angle. Starting around July 21st, you might feel like, wait, maybe I need to rethink this. Maybe I tried another way. For ascendant Virgos, Mars is moving through your 1st house, the house of identity, drive, leadership, You're unstoppable right now. You're the engine. But don't forget, the world isn't made of only to-do lists. It's also made of people. So if you notice someone around you struggling or feeling overwhelmed by your speed, pause, even if you're in full combine harvester mode. Virgos, now comes the unexpected. While you're out there paving the road like a powerhouse, something or someone suddenly appears in your field of vision. A person, software kind, gentle, as if they're from another world, and logically, it's not the time, deadlines, pressure, structure. You're in full motion, but this person, they're standing right in the middle of your road. Here's the scene. You're the boss. You're focused. You've got numbers to hit. And then there's the new intern, quiet voice, a little awkward, but with this strange, steady glow from the inside. And before you realize it, you're thinking, they're actually really special. Is this the beginning of a romance at work or something deeper? A quiet connection that lets you soften, even for a moment. This is Venus entering the stage, mid-July. She brings someone who isn't here to plan or push. They're just present. They listen. They feel. They see you. Not your role, not your checklist, but you. And that creates a dilemma. Do you keep pushing forward like a machine? Or do you pause and allow yourself to feel? And maybe, just maybe, admit you also want someone soft by your side. Not a co-founder, not a strategist, but a soul with whom you can take off the armor. For ascendant Virgos, this connection might show up through your 7th house, the house of partnership, which means it's not just a feeling. It could be a bond, a creative duo, a spiritual friendship, or that rare spark you never planned for, but feel with your whole being. And now, Virgos, a turning point, literally. On July 21st, Mercury, your ruling planet, comes to a standstill. What does that mean? First of all, that classic feeling of I don't know what's happening anymore. Your mind, which was racing like a high-speed train all month, suddenly slows. Thoughts tangle. You may find yourself speaking sharply or going quiet, not because something's wrong, but because something inside whispers, pause. You need to process. During these days, you might feel the urge to change your perspective, a strange doubt about decisions you made just weeks ago, a pull to dive deeper into one question and find the real answer. For example, you've been operating like a machine all month, ticking boxes, hitting goals, and suddenly you freeze and wonder, wait, is this even my path? Do I really want this? Or am I just chasing something that's not mine? This is a crucial moment because when Mercury stops, he's not asking for panic. He's asking for reflection. He says, don't rush. Look again. Let the silence speak. In that quiet, an idea might surface. A name might pop into your head. Someone worth reaching out to. Or a new way of thinking might open, one you never considered before. This isn't a crisis. It's a calibration. And it's coming at just the right time. Right before a major shift at the end of the month for ascendant Virgos. This Mercury station could hit right at the core of how you see yourself. Who am I really? Where am I going? Are these my goals or someone else's dream? And the more honest you are with yourself, the more powerful your reset will be. Virgos, we've made it to the final chord of July. July 24th brings a new moon in Leo, but not just any new moon, a turning point. Leo rules the stage, the spotlight, pride, strength, leadership. And if, at the start of the month, you were more of a backstage strategist, now it's time to become the star of your own process. But make no mistake, this isn't about flashy drama. The sun is conjunct Saturn in Aries. This is about backbone, not performance. It's the strength to hold steady, even when everything around you shakes. In your career, this could mean a serious conversation, a strategic decision, launching a major project where you are the leader, not in title, in action, because no one else can pull this off but you. For example, you launch your first online course, or start a business with a close friend, or maybe you take full responsibility for your team and lead like a tank. In love, this energy shows up too. You meet someone who's also got a strong personality. A connection forms that's magnetic, but intense, passion mixed with power. Or you and your partner join forces for a shared mission and realize it's not just romance, it's a team. There's no room for weakness here. This is a test. Can you hold the rhythm? Can you build not just a relationship or a job, but a future? And here's the deeper truth. This new moon kicks off a long cycle, all the way to 2028. Yes, really. Right now, you're laying a foundation, not in theory, in a specific area of your life. For ascendant Virgos, this may land in your 6th house, new systems, routines, methods, a new lifestyle. Your 7th house, partnerships, marriage, business collaborations, long-term unions. Or your 10th house, career, public image, reputation, your role in the world. And Leo whispers one thing: don't be afraid to stand out. You're not just a cog in the system, you're the author of your story. July has been a test of maturity. First, mental intensity, then emotional overflow, and now a quiet but powerful moment of truth. Who am I right now? And who do I choose to become next? My dear Virgos, we've walked through the main timeline of July, but there's still something left. Not loud, but important. Uranus is entering Gemini, quietly, gradually, but with no way back. So, what is Uranus? It's the planet of freedom, breakthroughs, and unconventional thinking. Gemini rules our mind, communication, learning, connections. Now imagine this. It's like someone installs a chip in your brain, and suddenly your mind runs on lightning speed. You begin to absorb and process information differently. For example, you decide to learn something completely new: blogging, psychology, programming, literature, chemistry, and suddenly you're hooked. 5 hours fly by like 15 minutes. You're reading, practicing, creating, and loving it. But this isn't just curiosity, it's a transformation. Uranus rewires your mental patterns. It doesn't just inspire, it reconfigures you. If you're an ascendant Virgo, Uranus in your 10th house could shift your career towards something digital, modern, unexpected. In the 11th house, new friends, ideas, online communities, future visions. In the 3rd house, an explosion in communication, writing, speaking, learning. For example, you start a YouTube channel or launch a course, and suddenly people are listening, responding. You're no longer just a specialist. You're a voice, a message, a source of insight. Uranus doesn't ask permission. It enters and rewrites the story. So be ready for this. Familiar goals might lose meaning. People from the past may fall away. And your intuition might guide you towards something completely new. It's not scary. It's exciting. It's growth. The new era begins not when everything is clear, but when you're brave enough to follow what feels alive. Your job now, trust it. Don't overthink, don't rush, just feel it and take the step. This is the adult magic of Uranus. To change, not because the world demands it, but because you finally choose to evolve. Virgos, if you're still watching, it means you're not just curious, you're ready. So let's talk about one of the most important themes of July: the past versus the future. In July 2025, Mars aligns with the South Node in Virgo. What does that mean for you? You might suddenly feel pulled back into your old patterns, with a voice that says, "I'll do it all myself, I've got this," like always. The South Node is memory. It's the familiar path. It's what used to work. But if you rely only on old strategies, you risk getting stuck, or worse, burning out. For example, you take on a new project and handle it exactly like you did in 2022 or 2023. Same tools, same pressure, same perfectionism, but now something's off. The results don't land, people don't respond, and your energy drained. That's your sign. It's time to evolve, because the North Node, the direction of your future, is in Pisces now. And Pisces whispers a different message. Instead of, I'll do it all, what if we do this together? Instead of, work harder, what if I worked with more heart? Instead of, push through, maybe I could inspire instead. Pisces is flow, emotion. Article Virgo is structure, logic, efficiency. And your soul's task this month? Build a bridge. Don't choose between precision and intuition. Unite them. If you're structuring a project, leave room for warmth. If you're building a plan, leave space for improvisation. If you're working with data, remember, people live behind the numbers. In early July, Mars will shout, go faster, do more, now. But by mid-July, you may hear a softer truth. What if it's not just about doing, but about feeling too? Mars conjunct the South Node can stir impatience, stubbornness, the urge to carry everyone on your back. But if you catch the moment, you'll shift from reaction to intention. That's your true power, balance. You know how to be precise. You know how to feel. Now is the time to blend both, so your actions come not from stress, but from soul. And here's something else that truly matters. July isn't just a marathon of events. It's a test of how flexible your thinking really is. Because right in the heart of the month, Mercury, your ruling planet, makes a pivot. And Mercury governs your logic, communication, ideas. At first he slows down. You might feel it like a strange pause in your work, awkward conversations, or that frustrating, I don't know what to do next feeling. Around July 21st to 22nd, this moment is not about rushing. The pause isn't failure. It's your invitation to rethink your approach. For example, you're working on a project. Everything seemed on track and then suddenly stuck. Don't push. Take out your journal, revisit the plan. You might discover you're missing something key, or maybe overcomplicating what could be simple. This Mercury turn is like a mental inhale, exhale. It doesn't break you. It recalibrates you. You might see things from a new angle, get presented with a surprising alternative, or hear from someone from your past who brings a fresh idea. If you're an ascendant Virgo, this could play out as first house, a shift in how you see yourself, your image, your identity. Third house, rethinking how you communicate, travel, or run your blog. Sixth house, reevaluating daily habits, routines, and workflow. Above all, don't make rash moves. This isn't the time to change everything overnight. This is the time to step back, look at the whole map, and adjust your direction with awareness. Mercury isn't just thinking. He's your inner GPS. And if he's asking for a pause, honor it. That pause might just lead you to the right destination. Virgos, we're almost at the finale, but before we close the book on July, there's one last key event you need to notice, something that's easy to overlook, and yet it could completely shift your vision of the future. It's the conjunction of Mars and the South Node. So, what does this mean? The South Node represents your past experience, skills you've built, old roads you've walked, and Mars, he's action, desire, drive, determination. When these two align, you get a powerful second chance to do something big with what you already know. For example, you once started a blog, a course, a creative project, and abandoned it. But now, suddenly you feel that fire again. And this time, it's not just a hobby. You refine it, relaunch it, and it takes off. What once felt like a side gig now becomes your main path. This energy is strong, but strategic. Not the burn it down and start over kind. More like you find your old sword in the attic and decide to win the battle with it. Especially powerful if you veered off course at some point. You doubted if it was worth returning. You felt you had potential that never fully played out. Now is your chance to return, but as a different version of yourself. If you're an ascendant Virgo, check where this conjunction lands. In your first house, a return to your identity, mission, and authentic energy. In the sixth house, past clients, systems, or work rhythms resurface. In the 10th house, old career goals or public roles come back into focus. It's like a scene from a movie. The hero doesn't suddenly change. They just remember who they are. And this is that moment, not just to remember, but to act. Virgos, this was Lilit, your personal astrologer, created with the help of artificial intelligence. If you're still watching this video, I want to thank you once again for your time and your trust. Subscribe to my channel so you never lose me in your feed. Wishing you happiness and clarity. See you in the next video.